Who underachieved more in their career between Neymar and Ronaldinho? What do you think?
First of all, when it comes to this question, like I don't like it because I feel people's careers end up how they're meant to. Not everybody's a machine that every day they're working and they must get the most out of their careers. Like you are who you are, right? But I would say slightly just Ronaldinho, just because when you look at Neymar's career, you look at a man that, again, statistically scored about 200, almost 300 goals, 295 goals in just below 500 games. Brazil's top scorer, 79 goals, won the treble, won the Champions League. And I think his biggest mistake was going to PSG, which was more of a career decision because I think he could have achieved more in Barcelona, right? But going to PSG and then the injuries. And of course, we know he wasn't the most professional, but at least his body, compared to Ronaldinho's body, like he managed his weights and things better. But I think the PSG move was what really derailed him in that sense. But I think Ronaldinho, again, I don't like the question because he achieved a lot as well, right? 197 goals, won the Champions League, won the World Cup, was like a legend for all of us like growing up, right? So like, but if you had to do between the both, I would say him just because he had a lot of weight issues and it was clear that he was enjoying his football, which he had the right to. I think he had a fantastic career. But when you look at his weight issues, even from the later days at Barcelona before he went to Milan, like I think he could have done more for himself to stay at that level. But I don't like to look down on him because that's just who he was. Okay. But if you look at both of them, I think it has to be Ronaldinho, just based on the fact that I think due to his own ill discipline in certain instances. I feel he didn't control his weight enough. He did very well at the start of Barcelona, started tapering off. What I think Neymar's one was more of a thing with career decisions. And there were also the Brazilian flair and love for life, right? Yeah. But I think the PSG decision plus injuries have really derailed him.
So who would you rank higher on the GOAT on the all-time?
Again, so who at their peak, who was the best? Like, again, I'm biased because growing up, Ronaldinho was the guy, right? So I think Ronaldinho's peak was just something I've never seen before. But if you look at career, you're looking statistically, you're looking at achievements, you're looking at longevity. I have to say that Neymar has had a better career.
Actually, it's not nostalgia is making you put Ronaldinho.
That's why I'm a bit torn.
We agree on one thing when it comes to who is the GOAT, right? Yeah. Putting Ronaldinho ahead of Neymar. However, I think I disagree with the fact that, should I say, of course, just like you said, it's not nice to say who had a better career, but I mean, football is now, if Ronaldinho and Neymar were playing in the same generation, I mean, I think everybody would have been clear.
I think who underachieved more though.
So yeah, but basically who underachieved more? I mean, I think Neymar did. So let me tell you why, right? Okay. Neymar played with Messi, Suarez. I mean, I could as well say even though, I mean, Neymar, no disrespect to him, he was very fantastic. The MSN time, right? But I mean, any winger could have complemented that marvelous. Oh yes, I mean, if a Dembele was fit,
he would have achieved as much as Neymar did.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And basically for anybody at that time,
that's a stretch.
So for anybody at that time, the only thing you just had to recognize was that Messi, this team is centered around Messi. And I mean, basically you just have to do, maybe not necessarily Messi's
building. The time Messi was injured and Neymar carried Barcelona.
Yeah, like I think...
so that's my issue. He should have stayed. So he should have stayed. With the issue with maybe Messi going to PSG, if Neymar had stayed comfortably, because it was supposed to be a fail-safe.
But you said any winger would have done,
done the same.
Would have done what Neymar did.
Neymar did.
MSN.
Yes, playing with Messi and Suarez.
Okay, so
I think so. I think
So how does it mean that Neymar underachieved more? It's like I'm still trying to understand.
So Ronaldinho, they won all the trophies that could have been winnable, right? Ronaldinho did it with PSG. Even though, I mean, we didn't know him a lot during his PSG days. He moved from PSG to Barca, and from Barca he moved to Milan, right? Then I'm looking at Neymar. What did Neymar achieve with PSG? He couldn't win them the Champions League.
Okay, but
Ronaldinho
just won it with Barcelona as well.
Yeah, so that's fine. But I mean, in that Milan team, right? You could say that the team was centered around, if on a bad day for Milan, when Ronaldinho is not playing well, I mean, Milan is down. I mean, I don't know if you remember.
But if in relation to this question, if we both agree that Ronaldinho is, like, his peak was better, then compared to, it surely should be him, because from what his peak was to like how his career went, I feel Neymar from when he was at Santos to what he's done now. So now he's dropping off. But like I think
he dropped off. I think the moment he went to the French league.
Yeah, no, I mean, so it was a career decision. But in terms of underachievement, I feel it's like almost a thing where like what did you do like to like derail your career? But even with that PSG move, he still got about like, he scored like maybe 81 in like 100 and something games for PSG. They didn't win Champions League, but he's now also Brazil's top scorer. So I think like those things, like his achievements, he also won the treble. He won everything that Ronaldinho did except the World Cup. So I think
yes,
facts.
Okay, yeah. So you said except the World Cup. I mean, why are we calling Messi the GOAT today? It's not because he won the World Cup.
We're getting on the achievement. So when you look at Ronaldinho's peak to how he ended at Milan, a bit overweight, then he like basically like
Neymar also had weight issues, you know.
Yeah. So but like
at PSG,
but he's high. He still kind of stayed at a very high level.
So this is the issue for me, right? I mean, I'm not going to say Neymar stayed. Immediately moved to PSG. If Neymar had won them the Champions League.
But he had injuries. He had injury problems.
This is the same reason you're saying about Ronaldinho. I mean, the body issues.
But that's more self-discipline.
If Neymar had won the Champions League with PSG, I would have said, because, I mean, if you look at a Neymar and a Cavani in PSG, I mean, I would even say Cavani achieved more. Do you understand? I mean, sorry, not Cavani, it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Do you understand? It was the highest goal scorer for some time before Cavani broke the record, right? So I mean, I'm looking at Neymar. So what exactly did Neymar do at PSG?
Well, Ronaldinho was like the GOAT of that era.
But what did Ronaldinho do?
There was even a particular time when Neymar was at PSG that they didn't even win the league.
But Ronaldinho was the GOAT of that era, right? Like he was that guy for us. Like So my point is like after like those years at Barcelona, like I'm sorry, like for club and country, after that like it was pretty much nothing.
Well, maybe not necessarily. I mean, he had a good time.
He just like did what he did, like showed us his flair. But like after that, it was pretty much nothing. But I think like Neymar,
flair with output.
I think that Neymar, but his output was never as good as Neymar's, like statistically. So I think that Neymar,
because of why
it's a different era. So
exactly,
like it's a different era. But like output wise, like I think Neymar has kind of had a longer stretch, I would say.
Well, longer stretch because of how he started his career, right? Neymar, from 20, he moved to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say the same thing with Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho probably moved to Barca at age 24 or thereabout, right? So PSG, it was with PSG in the early part. And imagine a Ronaldinho moving to I know there were fantastic players in that Barcelona team, but I mean Neymar just literally walked into Barcelona with Suarez and Messi already lined up with Xavi, Iniesta. I mean that's a very beautiful lineup. Now, no disrespect to Ronaldinho's team, but Ronaldinho already had much of his career. I mean the early part of his career with PSG. So moving to Barcelona, very fantastic. We built Barcelona out a lot in the Champions League. I remember that time against Chelsea, brought out a free kick goal from out of nothing, right? So, I mean, just a fantastic point in his career. However, and he also won the World Cup. The only reason why Messi and Ronaldo fans are not on the same level right now is because Messi won the World Cup. Okay. So that makes it very, very big.
Does. But like,
it changes the narrative a lot.
So what you're saying is that Ronaldinho had a better career?
Oh yes, absolutely. From my perspective, yes.
I think it's a toss-up, but for me, what I would say is Neymar came into the game when he was at Santos doing madness, and like his expectations, he won at Santos, won at Barcelona, Brazil's top scorer of all time. The PSG move was not maybe the best advised move, but statistically he did very well there, and they haven't been able to get over that hump. So I won't blame that on him alone. But like I think what would you have expected Neymar to achieve in his career from Santos? I think he's done. He's pretty much done that. So I think Ronaldinho.
Maybe when Brazil hosted the World Cup, I was thinking that Neymar would have been able to lead.
But the reason for me why Ronaldinho.
Getting injured is also the same thing. The weight issues.
The reason for me why I picked
body
Ronaldinho.
Management. Do you understand?
It wasn't the weight issues.
It was like the back.
That was the back time.
The back.
It's still body management.
But for me,
body management.
I mean, Messi does not have back issues every day.
No, they need his back now. What's he meant to do?
The goat. When we're talking about
this guy almost
the goats we are currently talking about today, Messi, Ronaldo, those type of guys, they were always available.
But I think for me,
right?
if you
So
say
availability is very
availability.
key. So it's not.
if you say underachieved, when you look at again the heights, so what we thought Ronaldinho was the best player in the world, like the GOAT for a lot of people in like this generation, our generation, compared to how it ended. I think for me that's why. So like if you're that good and you're that guy, and like other players that were at that level, like the best of the best, they stayed. But like I think Ronaldinho, after the years at Barcelona, I think the drop off was.
And you know, it was also forced out of Barca.
Yeah, but
because of
Pep.
Messi.
And
Yes, Pep
Messi,
coming in.
but like,
Messi.
again, it was part of also his professionalism because he was not. He was towards the end. He was still getting good numbers. I remember like his last season. I think he got about 20 goals in La Liga or something. So, but like he was not as fluid. Like he was a bit slower, more sluggish. So like he wants to start afresh with a younger team. He had to go. So I think if he stayed at that or like maintained his physical like shape as better than he did, I think his peak would have lasted much longer. Which is why for me, just based on how good he was to how much he dropped off, for me that's why I believe he underachieved more.
So you think Neymar had a better career than
So that's a different question. So that's a different question. I don't like Neymar's career as well, because career, looking at the impact you made, the love you got, what you won. You're looking at numbers. You're looking at so many different things. Like what did you impact a generation? Like Ronaldinho impacted a generation. So you
think Ronaldinho had a better career than Neymar?
I think that's pretty much easy.
No, so that's the thing. I don't think it's easy because again, Neymar won.
I think there's a little bit of nostalgia for
Ronaldinho. So when it comes to better career,
so when you look at players of this generation that is currently ending, like you find a lot of people say that they were influenced by Ronaldinho, right? Now I'm looking at the next generation and I'm saying maybe the likes of Haaland, Mbappe. I don't think I've heard anybody say they were influenced by Neymar. Most people were influenced by Messi.
I'm sure,
and
but
Ronaldo.
sometimes if you look at people
Messi
playing,
and Ronaldo,
like,
do you understand? And the funny part is that if Neymar, I mean, no disrespect to Neymar, don't mind me, but if Neymar was that good, like, I mean, if you had that with the longevity even
how do you want to influence the younger generation in a Messi and Ronaldo generation?
Yeah.
Now, so that's the issue. So that's the thing. So
Ronaldinho was the generation. Was the king of his era. Like,
exactly.
So like he had to be the one to influence.
So that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's even a point for this argument.
So hold on. Don't forget that when we had Ronaldinho, we also had Ronaldo de Lima.
No,
oh yes, now.
No.
2003?
No. We're talking peak Ronaldinho, which was like 05, 6, 7.
Exactly.
But Neymar wasn't doing much then.
So 06, you're talking about the likes of them, Henry.
Was that Henry?
So these were still proper world class players.
But they're not Messi and Ronaldo. But Ronaldinho, but like when you look at Ronaldinho, we're literally looking at maybe like 3 seasons, like peak.
3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Wait, what? So what do you mean?
Like
by
so when like that
seasons?
define him, like right. So like I feel like when you look at his career, that's why I feel like
Brazil
was
won
so
the World
good.
Cup in
2002.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like he wasn't the guy then. Well, Ronaldo was the guy.
It was Ronaldo, but you can't underplay the impact Ronaldinho had in that team.
That much
but
impact
it's different when you're the guy.
He had Rivaldo.
It's different when you're the guy.
That Brazil team. Come on.
So it's just like saying the Brazil team at the during Neymar's time, they had Marcelo. I mean, call the best players in the world.
But it's not as good as
as much as I agree, but in that generation, in this
Neymar's generation, Neymar was the guy
they
from
had
the beginning.
World-class players.
From when Neymar was 19,
Neymar was the guy
for Brazil.
Well, because we thought he could step into Ronaldinho's shoes,
but
he proved us wrong.
He's top scorer as well.
I mean, no disrespect to him.
Yeah, but splitting hairs, they are 2 world-class players.